Hey guys, JackX33 here, giving you guys a deck profile on the deck I ran at Oceanic World Championship Qualifier. I managed to pilot it to top 16, and I unfortunately lost out to one of my friends who was playing a hero deck. You know, it was pretty much made to counter wind up, because it was obviously like the most anticipated deck for this event. So it was, yeah, I couldn't really do much in that game. I did manage to get one game, and all three games were pretty close, but in the end, it was just too hard, and I couldn't pull through, unfortunately. So yeah, before I get started on the deck profile and all that stuff, I will show you guys like what I have for like trade and stuff. So I have these cards I pulled from my box. I have Force Focus, Zek Conversion, the Seal of Reflection, El Janiro, Tsuke Knight, Shining Elf, Tardy Orc, and XYZ Unit. So, I didn't get my guaranteed 5 supers. I also got cards that are worth like $2 or less. This is surprisingly like not the worst box I've ever pulled. I don't know how, but like I pulled the worst box in Order of Chaos. But yeah, if you want those cards, just message me. I don't value them very high because they seem to be pretty terrible. And yeah, pretty unfortunate about that. I have the World Championship Qualifier sleeves. I think it's like an 80 or 100 pack, I'm not sure. So message me if you want these as well. Yeah, just like make an offer on them. For matte wise, I still have this Heliopolis matte. Let's put it down there. You can see that. It's a Sun Dragon World Championship Qualifier matte, Nationals 2012. So I still have that. I also have the I think it's the top cut for the WCQ, the matte. So yeah, also I have this. Apparently this is like pretty high in value. I don't know. I'll just take if you want it, just offer, and all that good stuff. So I have that. I also still have Blood Mephist. It hasn't been taken. They gave me it in this top loader, so it hasn't been taken out. So it's in mint condition, I'm fairly sure. So just offer on that if you want it as well. I can go pretty cheap on all this stuff, basically. So yeah. Alright, now I actually get started on the deck profile. So, I play windups. Yeah, like I wanted to play some cool rogue deck, but it just did not work out for me. I couldn't find something. I was really considering playing Gravekeepers, but like I tested it before the event, and it just wasn't getting there. Basically, I was playing Rabbit as well, just wasn't working. I really wanted to play Inzektas as well. Inzektas, I think, were actually probably one of the decks for this event, because no one actually expected them, and some of them made it into the top tables a few times actually, because just literally no one was expecting it. Like people were playing Max Cedo Veilers, people playing like Deep Prisons and all that stuff. Like nothing for Inzektas basically. So I mean, like Inzektas were just cool, but yeah. So I played 3-1 up Rabbit because this card's amazingly broken and it should be played at 3. 3 Rat because you absolutely have to. No way around that. 3 Shark because this card should never be made and it's too good. Played 2 Magician. Basically, the reason why is because Magician Shark is just like too good. I mean, that combo is fucking sick. So, I want to pull that off as much as I can, realistically. But, like, it basically never happens. I basically can never get it off through back row or, like, first turn, I just never draw it. And this card's, like, pretty good in the mirror match, just because you can, like, summon it and, like, leave it on the field. If they decide to trigger a wind-up effect, you just trigger your own effect, or you can just, like, set it, they can attack into it, and you're just like, yeah, Magician face up, cool. So, yeah, Magician's a pretty good card in the mirror match, but I didn't play any, which was actually retarded. So, one wind-up hunter, discarding purposes. 3 tour guide, and the same game, obviously. I'm not playing tour bus, just like, it's a shit draw. I can't play shit draws, more than shit draws than I already had in this deck. 3 effect filler. 1 Maxi, just because of the mirror match. And I like this card against Rabbit, especially with this deck, because if you draw into enough resources to like out them, then it's just obviously good. Like I'm playing good cards against rabbits. So, you know, if I can draw into them with Max C, then it's fine. 3 MSD, just to kill back row. For the event, I was actually playing 2 Factory in place of 2 Thunder King. But I got rid of my factories at the event. So just to play start event, I put in 2 Thunder Kings. But yeah, I played factories. Factories were really not very good. Like, the main reason I put them in was because it's good. It was supposedly good against dragons in testing, because I could basically get to the loop as fast as possible, and you know, just go off before they could. Obviously great against the mirror match, and it was pretty good in against rabbit as well in testing. It was pretty good against rabbit. It did win me a game, I gotta admit. One game, just, you know, single. And I didn't play the mirror match, so I can't comment on that, but obviously it's good. It was terrible against the Chaos Dragons matchup. I just drew it dead like all the time. I really would like much rather the Thunder King or like anything else but Factory. It was just dead most of the time. It wasn't very good, so it's unfortunate for me to play that card. I added it in the last minute as well as these 2 Soul Takers. This card's like amazing. You should be maining this card in windups. It's so good, so good. Shout out to Mr. Commodity for like making me main this Soul Taker card, because it was great. Baravis, Book of Moon, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, and Monster Reborn. 5 staples. You pretty much need to play in every deck. Not Avarice, but you know, like most decks play these cards. 2 Deep Prison. I also wasn't playing these until like 10 minutes before I went to bed on Friday night. Because I don't know why. I don't know why I wasn't playing these cards. These cards are really good, and it definitely helps out in the rabbit matchup, dragon matchup, everything. These cards are actually just great. This format. I would consider maining 3 if I was to play this deck again, but I'm probably not going to. Probably going to move on to some retarded deck, you know, some like rogue tier 2 deck for the rest of the format, just because I'm sick of playing meta decks. Basically, I'm like an anti-meta player at heart, so I need to kind of like go back to my roots and play like these cool decks instead of these meta ones. But yeah, so yeah, Deep Prison's good, obviously. I kind of went off on that topic, but yeah, 2 TT because it's good. I don't think to be honest, I don't think this card should be a 2. TT is just like way too powerful. I mean, having to play around 1 TT is like, you know, it's okay. It's basically like if they flip the TT, you're just like, alright, they've used their TT, I can do stuff. But like it's like the same thing if there was 2 heavy storms allowed. Like, you know, if someone uses a heavy storm on you, like say they get like a +1 or something, and usually you're just like, oh yeah, they've used a heavy, I'm gonna set like 4 back row. But it's like, oh, there's still a heavy left in deck, what the fuck? How am I can't set again. Like, if you already plus off 1 TT, and there's still a TT left in deck, it's so awkward, especially for this deck, and Rabbit as well, because TTing, like, vanillas sucks. And, like, if you try to make 2 vanillas into a XYZ, it really sucks with TT. So I think this card should be at 1, but, you know, it's up to Konami, really. But I have to think that card should be at 1. I mean, I know this format kind of requires, like, a lot of summoning hate, but I think the format should just, like, get killed. Like, all decks should get slowed down, and then TT should get put to 1, because it's just honestly too good of a card, in my opinion. 2 Solemn Warning, because, you know, Solemn Warning, Bottomless Trap Hole. Obviously, this card's amazing, like, no doubt. And then Solemn Judgment, so, yeah. Alright, extra deck, standard, as ever. Levier, 3 Zematis, yeah, it's all good. 2 Leviathans. I just do like combos with Rabbit and Rat a lot. I try to make as many rank 3s as I can. And when playing this deck and testing, I always want like 2 Leviathans against Rabbit, just in case, you know, they'll like negate they'll Largia my first one, or they'll bottomless it, or deep prison it, or like lance it, or whatever. And then I'll just have the second one instead of having to go into like Muzzle Rhythm or like Zen mains, and just put myself in a suboptimal position. So I'd rather just play 2 Leviathan. Zen mains. I actually pulled this card out like once the whole day, and that was to play around Dark Hole. Only reason was to play around Dark Hole. I never actually like rammed into anything. It's just, it's a really bad, it's not a good card anymore. Really, it's good, but it's not that good. Like 10 tempo just fucking shits on it. And you know, damage is too important against Chaos Dragons, so you can't really ram it into much. I'd rather just get this guy in Muzzle Rhythm. This guy like, worked out really well. He actually worked out great. Muzzle Rhythm's a great card. 10 tempo. Like I said, this guy shits on Zen mains. Obviously in Europe we don't have Acid Golem, but it's great against Acid Golem. It's great against Gemite Pearl because it can't actually detach. Great against Lagia. They have to negate it with Lagia. Because you can go quick effect. If they bottomless it, you can go quick effect. You know, some people don't know this. It's a quick effect, so you can actually, you know, if you summon this and they bottomless, you can just use its effect. It's not an ignition effect. So yeah, Tiris, Adris, Zemayo, never summoned it. Shouldn't have played it probably. Steel Swimmerch, Gemite Pearl, never summoned Gemite Pearl, and Maestroke. Maestroke was MVP. I played around this bottomless and torrential with this guy all day. I flipped shit face down. Played around Dark Hole, sat this guy in defense with 2-3 defense. He was just like actually great. This card's amazing. I was considering not playing English Rhythm. Maestroke, and I put it in. It was really good. 3 Snowmania, sorry, against Rabbit. That's basically all I played. I started at 4. Rabbit and Heroes. I suppose I didn't expect to play Heroes, but I did end up playing them, and it worked well in Heroes, the matchup, obviously. So, you know, that's good. 2 Kaiku. This card, I like this card a lot. It's like one of my favourite cards this format, but it just really didn't pull through for me today. I probably wouldn't side in windups again. It just didn't really work. I probably would like side Thunder Kings over these if I wasn't maining them. But, you know, in Rabbit, this card's definitely amazing. So, you know, yeah. 2 Max Seat for the mirror match. I did not play. I didn't play the mirror match, so it was really bad. 2 D-Fissure. I wish I had played 3rd, because there's way more dragons than I expected. I mean, way more dragons than I expected. I expected like hardly any dragons because I thought, you know, you'd have to be like pretty ballsy to come into an event playing dragons where, you know, windups is just everywhere. Or was supposed to be everywhere, but actually wasn't. Like, there was hardly any windups, and it was pretty shocking. I mean, I prepared for the mirror match the most, and it was just kind of like weird when I didn't play any, and like I just hardly saw any, or a lot less than I expected. There's a lot of Rabbit, a lot of Chaos Dragons, just like Nationals, but you know. Anyway, 3 Shadow for Inzectors and Dark Worlds if I came up against them, which I didn't. 2 Dustin for, you know, back row hate. I should have started 3rd over a Kaku and something else, like, I don't know. But yeah, 3rd D Prison against all the good cards this format. This card's like amazing actually. So yeah, just onto stuff that I'm selling, getting rid of. I'll just give you guys like, if I can get out of this deck box. I'm selling the wind-up deck, by the way, the wind-up engine. Obviously not the staples, but so I have to get this deck box. Yeah, I'm also selling like some good cards here, like, you know, Kitasta, not this card, like Giga Brilliant, Lagiers. I have like a bunch of Lagiers, Dolka, Lance, Instant Fusion. I don't know, like this is just random cards, but you know, Chalice, just random cards. Compulse. I'm not selling Compulse. You know, more Chalices. Not selling the macros. Superior Reaper Super. I'm not selling cards. I don't know. There's supposed to be rabbits in this pile. Yep, I'm selling rabbits. Yep. Wind up some rabbits. There we go. Wind ups engine, rabbit engine. Selling those cards as well as the product I posted. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you like this video. Peace out till next time.